Okay, we shall recall quickly about the previous class. The entire interrupts controlled by the interrupt flip-flop. Okay, inside the microprocessor. If the interrupt enable flip-flop is set, then all the interrupts will be enabled. If the interrupt flip-flop will be reset, all the interrupts will be disabled except trap. Okay. So trap interrupt has the highest priority. And particularly this trap used for critical event such as power failure and emergency shut-off situations. Okay. There are three ways to reset the interrupts, either by executing the disable interrupt or resetting the microprocessor, or if any interrupt is recognized by the microprocessor, then processor temporarily disable this flip-flop until the completion of the interrupt service routine for the corresponding interrupt. Okay, there are three ways. And apart from this, we can manually reset RST 7.5 interrupt by using this particular pin. Okay. And some of the software interrupts, RST 02, RST 7. So how the microprocessor handling the interrupt? So the microprocessor, while executing each and every instruction, the processor checks the INTR pin of the microprocessor. Okay. And before that, we have to enable all the interrupt by executing the instruction enable interrupt. And then the processor monitor the INTR line every instruction. If INTR line is high, then microprocessor complete the current execution and it send the interrupt acknowledgement signal. Okay. So this interrupt acknowledgement signal enable the tri-state buffer, what we discussed yesterday with the help of a circuit diagram. Then the RST instruction inserted inside the microprocessor with the help of this INTA signal as well as external hardware. Okay. So depending on what kind of RST instruction, whether it is RST 0 or 1, 2, 3 up to 7. Before executing the interrupt service routine for the corresponding restart instruction, the microprocessor save the next immediate instruction address location in the stack memory. Okay. Then the program execution flow transfer to the particular memory location depending on what kind of restart instruction it is. Say for example, if RST 5 is inserted, then the program execution flow will go to 0028H locations. Then it will execute the instruction from this memory location onwards. And finally, we have to enable the interrupt once again, because once a microprocessor recognize the interrupts, then it disable the interrupt flip-flop. Okay, for the servicing of the presently received interrupt request. So we have to enable the interrupt again and the return instruction. So when the return instruction executed, the address is saved in the stack memory, retrieved, and then the processor start the normal executions. Okay. So this is the way the microprocessor handling the interrupts, right? And restart 0 to restart 7 instruction, what is the corresponding call location and hex code for the each and every restart instruction. A internal circuitry, how the RST 5 interrupt is generated. So the microprocessor continuously monitor the INTR line during execution of each and every instruction. So when this INTR line is high, then processor disable the internal flip-flop and it sends the active low signal on this particular pin, that is INTA complement. If it is 0, so this is 0 complement 1, then it enable all this tri-state buffer. Say for example, INTA complement as well as the external hardware insert the RST 5 instruction in the microprocessor. Then what about the circuit connection of the internal tri-state buffer? So wherever we need one, the opcode for RST5 is EF. That is 1110111 in binary format. So if 0 represents the corresponding buffer connected to ground, logic high represents the corresponding tri-state buffer input connected to plus 5 volt. Okay, so this EF information placed on the data bus, that is AD0 to AD7. So this is what we discussed in the previous classes. Right. In today's class, so we're going to draw the timing diagram for the INTA acknowledgement. So timing diagram for opcode fetch. Timing diagram for opcode fetch we completed, and the memory read operation we completed, and the memory write operation we completed. IO read, IO write similar to memory read, memory write. Just we need to change this particular signal. If this particular pin is 0, it represents memory operations. If this particular pin is 1, it represents IO operation. That's it. Except this, the remaining waveforms are same for IO read, memory read, and IO write, memory write. Okay. And these are all called as machine cycle. Opcode fetch is one machine cycle. Memory read is in another machine cycle. Memory write is a machine cycle. IO read is a machine cycle. IO write is a machine cycle. Like that, INTA complement is also one of the machine cycle. Interrupt acknowledgement. Okay. So timing diagram for interrupt acknowledgement machine cycle. Timing diagram for INTA machine cycle. Okay. And execution of RST instruction. And execution of RST instruction. So whatever we studied in the previous class, now we are going to represent in the form of diagram, that is timing diagram. Okay, right. So before draw the timing diagram, please understand during the machine cycle 1, okay, during M1, during the machine cycle 1, the program counter hold the next instruction. Program counter hold the memory address of next instruction. Okay. And during the M2, machine cycle 2, the stack pointer decremented by 1. Okay. Stack pointer is decremented by 1. And the higher order program counter, that is PCH, stored in stack. And during M3, stack pointer again decremented by 1. Then the program counter lower order address information stored in stack. Okay. So during M1 state, the program counter hold the next instruction memory locations, and also the opcode for RST instruction. The opcode for RST instruction placed on the data bus, placed on the AD0 to AD7. Okay. So just check the previous diagram. Whenever the INTR signal goes high, then microprocessor send the INTA acknowledgement signal. Okay. So the INTA acknowledgement signal along with the external hardware, insert the RST instruction inside the microprocessor. Okay, so during M1 state, the data bus hold the opcode for the particular RST instruction. Okay, and during normal operation, say for example, address 1, instruction 1, address 2, instruction 2. So during the execution of each and every instruction, the microprocessor checks the INTR line. If the INTR line is high, then the next immediate address information, must be saved in the stack memory. Usually during the sequential execution, the program counter hold the next immediate address location actually. So during the machine cycle 1, the program counter hold the next immediate address and also the opcode for the corresponding RST instruction placed on AD0 to AD7. Then during machine cycle 2, the stack pointer decremented by 1. In say for example, assume this is the next immediate address. So the 5-1, okay, PCH1, correct? Okay. So this 5-1 information stored first in the stack. So we know the stack operation already. So whenever we're storing the data, the stack pointer decremented by 1, and then the higher order information stored in the stack. Then stack pointer again decremented by 1. This lower order address information must be stored in the stack memory. Okay. So this is the operations of INTA machine cycle. Okay. Like opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, IO read, IO write. INTA complement is one of the machine cycle. Okay. So this operation occurs whenever the INTR line is high, that detected by the microprocessor. So how to draw this timing diagram? Please remember these operations. Okay. Mesh class state 1. Okay. State 1. Totally 6 T state needed the microprocessor to decode the opcode for the corresponding RST instruction. Okay. Minimum 6 T state is required. So I'll draw the waveform in this small size. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Total 6 T state. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 T state. T3, T4, T5, T6. So processors spend minimum of 6 T state to decode the hex code for the corresponding RST instruction. Right? We will complete the machine cycle 1 first. This is machine cycle 1. So what I told you during T1, what will happen? To draw the timing diagram usually. Anyone respond? While drawing the timing diagram, what should we mention during the T1?
ALE high, sir.
Okay. ALE must be high. So ALE must be high. That time your AD0 to AD7 pins used for holding the lower order address of your program counter. Okay. starting point. So I have drawn the waveform starting from off state to on state. Okay. So during this T1 state, the ALE must be high. ALE must be high. So when ALE is equal to high, then your AD0 to AD7 is used to hold AD0 to AD7 holding the lower order address of program counter, that is PCL. In general, I am writing PCL. Okay. So A8 to A15 dedicated for holding the addresses only. So these lines are holding the address of PCH. Okay. So during T1 only, this AD0 to AD7 for holding the address. Then during T2 to T3, so this AD0 to AD7 is used to hold the opcode of the RST instruction. I'm generally writing here RST. So what is the opcode for the corresponding RST? So in the previous example, we studied EF is the opcode for RST5 instruction. Okay. So AD0 to AD7 holding hex code or opcode for the corresponding RSTN instruction. Okay. That's it. And your INTR is high. You have to mention your INTR. Your INTR is high. Then the microprocessor send acknowledgement signal during the T2 state. T2 to T3. Okay. You have to mention this INTR signal also as well as INTA complement also. Right. So once the processor detect the INTR high, then it will disable the interrupt flip-flop. Okay. So this is the machine cycle 1 operations. Then 4, 5, 6. During 4, 5, 6, the processor decode. So what kind of operation it is? By reading the opcode of corresponding RST instruction. Okay. Now you have to mention INTA acknowledgement signal. INTA operations. So IO slash M bar comma S1 comma S0. So this is INTA acknowledgement. This is INTA acknowledgement. So S1 equal to 1, S0 equal to 1. Okay. And IO slash M bar must be 1. IO slash M bar must be 1. IO slash M bar equal to 1. Interrupt comes from external IO devices. Okay. So you have to mention IO slash M bar equal to 1, S1 equal to 1, S0 equal to 1. So which indicates the machine cycle 1 is interrupt acknowledgement machine cycle. Okay. So read bar signal is high only. Write bar also high only. Okay. So after T6, state 6, the processor completely decode what kind of instruction it is. Then what the microprocessor will do, it need to store the program counter, that is next immediate address information. The microprocessor need to store the next immediate address location in the stack memory. How it store? The stack pointer decremented -1, then first higher order data. This is almost equal to your writing your data in some memory. Okay, so this M2 M3 machine cycle is memory write cycle. You are writing the data in the stack memory. So how many machine cycle we needed for memory write operation? Please answer. For memory write, how many clock pulse needed for the microprocessor?
3, sir.
3 T states. Okay. So for storing the higher order address, we need 3 T states. T1, T2, T3. Okay. The processor spend or need minimum 3 clock cycle to store higher order address information in the stack. Then it require another 3 T state, 1, 2, 3, another 3 T state to store lower order address information in the stack memory. Okay, so this is machine cycle 2, this is machine cycle 3. T1, T2, T3. T1, T2, T3. Okay, so during T1 state, your ALE must be again high. So this should be like this only. So ALE again goes to high, logic high. During M3 T1 cycle, again the ALE goes to high. Off time. Sorry. So now your AD0 to AD7. AD0 to AD7 hold the address information of stack pointer, stack memory. That is SP minus 1 stack pointer lower order address data. Then AH to A7 holding stack pointer memory higher order address data. Okay. Then during T2 T3 state, your D0 to D7 hold your PCH information. So this data first stored in the stack memory. Okay. So this is memory write operation. So your IO slash M bar must be 0, S1 0, S0 1. Okay. So write operation meaning you have to enable the control signal, that is write signal, write bar signal during T2. Okay. During T2 to T3. Up to this. Because the memory write operation. So you have to, the microprocessor issues write control signal. Then during M2, machine cycle 2, particularly T2 to T3, it should be activated by placing 0 on this. Okay. So the next immediate address, higher order information stored in the stack memory. Now we have to store the next immediate address location. Lower order information must be saved in the stack memory. The address location of the stack memory given by stack pointer -2. Okay. Now during M3 state, first T1, this particular point to this particular point, ALE high. So AD0 to AD7 is used to hold your SP minus 2 lower order address bus. Okay. Then A8 to A15, A8 to A15 hold the address of SP minus 2 higher order address. Okay. So during T2, T3, during T2, T3, so your AD0 to AD7 hold program next immediate address location. That information available in the program counter. So this lower order program counter, lower order 8-bit data of program counter stored in the address location SP minus 2. So this is also related to memory write operation. So memory write operation. So T2 to T3. This is T2, T2 to T3. Again, your write bar must be enabled. Okay. So this is also memory write operations. So 0, 0, 1. Okay. Read operation, read signal is always high in this particular machine cycle. In this particular interrupt acknowledgement machine cycle. Okay. So to draw the timing diagram, first you have to understand the concept. What happening whenever the INTR interrupt is occurs. Okay. So one analogy I given to you. Let assume the microprocessor executing the instruction sequentially. Instruction 1 stored in the address location 1. Instruction 2 stored in the address location 2. Instruction 3 stored in the address location 3. Just an example I'm telling you. So during the execution of each and every instruction, processor monitor the INTR line. Let assume during the execution of instruction 2, the INTR line is high. So processor complete the execution of instruction 2 first. And actually the program counter holding the next immediate instruction address location. Let assume 5100 is the next immediate address location of the instruction 3. So this information must be saved in the stack memory because the INTR line is high. The microprocessor going to service for INTR request. Once the INTR line is high, the microprocessor send INTA acknowledgement signal. It enable this tri-state buffer. Along with INTA acknowledgement signal, the external hardware insert the RST instruction inside the microprocessor. The opcode for the corresponding RST instruction placed on the data bus. Okay. So how the microprocessor store the next immediate address information in the stack memory? Stack pointer decremented by 1. Then higher order address information saved first in the stack. Then stack pointer again decremented by 1. Then lower order address information of the program counter stored in the stack. So we need to draw the timing diagram with the help of 3 machine cycle. Machine cycle 1, the opcode placed on the AD0 to AD7. The corresponding hexadecimal code for RST instruction. At the same time, the program counter hold the next immediate address. Okay. During M2, writing your higher order PC data on the stack. During M3, writing your lower order PC data on the stack. So then you have to issue the control signal. Your write bar signal must be activated during T2 to T3 of M2 and T2 to T3 of M3, machine cycle 3. And indicate interrupt acknowledgement cycle by mentioning 111. So this is memory write and this is memory write. Okay. So any doubt? Draw the timing diagram for interrupt acknowledgement machine cycle and execution of an RST instruction. And execution of an RST instruction. Are you clear about this diagram? How to draw it? Don't be like a classroom. At least respond to me. You got an
Sir,
idea or not? Yeah, tell me.
sir, initially you said that you required 60 cycles now, sir.
6 T state for this
How many
instruction minimum.
before should we remember, sir?
Like already I told you which are the instruction needed for a 4 T state and which are the instruction needed for minimum 6 T state for normal upward fetch. Do you remember? For upward fetch machine cycle, forget about this INTA. For upward fetch machine cycle, some instruction needed only 4 T state. Some instruction needed 6 T state. Do you remember which are those instructions?
No, sir.
Why? 4 T state is required for a 1 byte instruction, 8-bit operation related upward fetch. Okay, 8-bit related upward fetch. That is move A comma B like that. So A, B, these are 8-bit register. So the processor need minimum 4 T state. Sometimes a single byte instruction only, but processor needs 6 T state to decode this particular opcode and complete this function. Which are those instruction? 1 byte instruction, but it involves 16-bit operation. See DCX-B, the BC register pair. BC register pair is 16-bit. So that is decremented by 1. So similarly, for INTA, the machine cycle 1, the processor utilizes minimum of 6 T state. To interpret what kind of instruction it is, RST instruction. Because what is the Xcode for RST instruction is 8-bit, but actually it involves the microprocessor need to save the next immediate address location in the stack memory, and also processor need to transform the execution flow to the 16-bit address location. To the 16-bit address location. Say for example, if RST5 is executed, then processor need to transform the execution flow to the 16-bit address location 0028. Okay. So please remember, for INTA acknowledgement signal, to interpret or to decode what kind of instruction corresponding to the RST, it spend minimum of 6 T state. Okay, 4 T state not sufficient. The processor internally take minimum of 6 T state. You got my point?
Yes, sir.
Any other doubt? Understand this concept first. Okay, then it will be easier for M2, M3 easy because memory write already we discussed. But you have to specify clearly this information. SP -1 higher order data, SP -1 lower order data, and PCH writing in the particular address location by activating this write bar signal. So that's why I kept at last the timing diagram for INTA signal. Because once you understand the concept of interrupts, then it is easier for the students to draw the timing diagram for INTA acknowledgement machine cycle along with RST instruction. Okay. So shall we move to next one? So what we covered so far in the interrupt structure, microprocessor interrupt structure, and classifications of interrupt: maskable, non-maskable. Trap is non-maskable interrupt. Okay. Yesterday, some student asked me about the trap. Trap is the highest priority among all the interrupt. Generally, this is it used for a critical event such as power failure and emergency shut-off situations. Okay. So non-maskable, maskable, vectored interrupt, non-vectored interrupt. Okay, and hardware interrupt, software interrupt. And apart from that, depending on the triggering level, whether it is level triggered interrupt or edge triggered interrupt. So that is also possible. Level triggered interrupt, edge triggered interrupt. So look at this particular interrupt structure. INTR is level triggered interrupt. RST 5.5, RST 6.5 level triggered interrupt. Meaning to activate this particular interrupt, to microprocessor recognize this interrupt request during the logic high state. Okay, whenever this particular pin is logic high, it indicate RST 6.5 request the service of the microprocessor. 7.5 is edge triggered. So whenever 0 to 1 transition occurs at this particular RST 7.5 pin, then processor understand the device request the service. Trap is sensitive for both edge triggering as well as level triggering. Okay, so 0 to 1, 0 to 1 transition, that is positive edge triggering, and also the signal must be stays high. Okay, to enable this particular trap interrupt. So vector, non-vector, maskable, non-maskable, hardware interrupt, software interrupt. So apart from that, the fourth category, level triggered or edge triggered, depending on the triggering. Level triggered interrupt or edge triggered interrupt. Edge triggered interrupt. Okay. Then how the microprocessor handling the interrupts? In each and every RST instruction, memory location, opcode, a simple circuit implementing RST5 instruction. What happened internally inside the microprocessor whenever the INTR line is high? Then how to draw the timing diagram for INTA acknowledgement signal along with RST instruction execution. Okay, so your M1 cycle is equivalent to your INTA acknowledgement cycle. The next two cycles, we need to save the address information of the next instruction. So whenever you draw the timing diagram for INTA, it's better to draw INTA machine cycle along with RST instruction execution. Okay. And remember, minimum 60 state is required to decode what kind of operation it is. Right? Okay. Then we'll move on to instructions. Instruction set. Instruction sets related with traps. Okay, because these are left during the explanation of the instructions. Instruction sets related with the interrupts. Okay. So enable interrupt. So this is a 1 byte instruction. It enable all the interrupts. Disable interrupt. It is a 1 byte instruction. It disable all the interrupt except trap. Okay. Except trap. Trap is always active. So apart from these two interrupt, we have two more instruction. The first one is SIM instruction. SIM. Set interrupt mask. set interrupt mask. So in the interrupt structures, we discussed after enabling all the interrupt, the programmer can able to disable a particular interrupt by making this pin is high. That is, to mask RST 7.5, this pin must be high. To mask RST 6.5, this pin must be high. To mask RST 5.5, this pin must be high. Okay. So to mask a particular interrupt, we can use SIM instruction, set interrupt mask. So before execution of the SIM instruction, we need to load 8-bit information in the accumulator first. So what is the structure of this SIM instruction? Set interrupt mask. Suppose if you want to mask 5.5, the first location D0, M 5.5. If this particular pin is 1, your 5.5 M RST 5.5 interrupt is masked. And this is for masking RST 6.5 interrupt. And this location is used for masking RST 7.5 interrupt. Okay, the first three. If this pin is 0, the corresponding interrupt is masked. If 1. If this particular pin is 1, the corresponding interrupt is masked. If this particular pin is 0, then it is non-masked. Okay, assume D0 equal to 1, meaning interrupt or RST 5.5 is masked. That is disabled. Okay, if D1 equal to 1, RST 6.5 interrupt is masked. Okay, next D3 position, mask set enable. Mask set enable. If it is 0, bit 0 to do is ignore. None of the interrupts is masked. If this bit is 1, then mask is set. So by reading D0, D1, D2, we will come to know which RST instruction is masked. Okay. So next one, D4. R 7.5. To reset RST 7.5 alone. To reset RST 7.5 alone. Look at the interrupt structure. If you make this particular input is high, this is NOR gate. OR gate, if any one input is high, output is high. NOR gate, if any one input is 1, output is 0. If this is 0, 0 activated, cleared, meaning the queue is 0. So you can reset RST 7.5 manually by using R7.5 pin. So how to proceed that? D4 position is R7.5. That is, this particular position is used for resetting RST 7.5 alone. Resetting RST 7.5 alone. Okay. Reset RST 7.5 if 1. Okay. So next position, D5 position, reserved. And next position, D6 position, this is D7 position. So this D6, D7 is used for supporting the serial data transmission. SDE, SOD. Okay. If SD, serial data enable, please remember serial data enable. If SDE equal to 1, if SDE equal to 1, it indicates the microprocessor enable the serial data transmission, particularly serial output data. Serial output transmission. If SD1 indicate, the microprocessor enable the serial data, particularly transmission. So whatever the data available in D7, that will be transformed to the external world. That will be transformed to the external world. Serial output data. Okay. So the sim instruction is very important. So I'll summarize now. 8-bit position. Before executing your sim instruction, we have to load 8-bit information in the accumulator. The processor will read the accumulator status. Processor will read the accumulator status. Okay. Then it will check if D01, particularly first one, if MSC 0 meaning none of the interrupt is masked. If MSC is 1 meaning, okay, some interrupt may be masked, or by reading D0 or D1, D2 individually, the processor understand which corresponding RST interrupt is masked. Okay. Next one are reset RST 7.5 individually. Okay, reset RST 7.5 individually. If this D4 equal to 1, the RST 7.5 interrupt is reset. Disabled. So this is nothing reserved purpose. Then D6, D7 bit position indicates whether the serial data transmission enable or disable. Particularly this pin is high, the processor ready to transmit the data serially to the outside the world. Okay. So whatever information available in D7 position, that data will be transformed to external world. Okay. Right. So one example I will give you for the same instruction. Example. Enable interrupt. All the interrupts are enabled. Move immediate A, 08H. Move immediate A, 08H. Now execute the same instruction. Now execute the same instruction. Okay. So what can you understand from these three instructions? All the interrupts are enabled. RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5, INTR. Everything is enabled. Now, before executing the sim instruction, we have to load the 8-bit information to the accumulator. Okay. So what is 08? What is 08? Hexadecimal equivalent binary 0000. Then 1000. So this is the information stored in the accumulator. When executing the sim instruction, the processor will read this accumulator data. So go back to your sim instruction. Now tell me, what do you understand from this? So in this example, 0000 1000. Okay. So what it represents? D0 0 meaning what? Please respond. D0 0 meaning RST 5.5 is masked or non-masked?
Non-masked.
Non-masked. So RST 5.5 is active. So D1 0 meaning RST 6.5 is active. So D2 0 meaning RST 7.5 is active. Okay. So to enable RST 7.5, so write a program or write an instruction to enable RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5. Okay, then you have to execute these three instructions. First of all, enable all the interrupt. Then move immediate A, 08. A, 08 meaning this 8-bit binary information loaded in the accumulator. Now, if you execute the sim instruction, the processor will read this accumulator content. Then accordingly, it recognize which are the interrupt is masked and which of the interrupt is non-masked, and whether the serial data transmission enable, disable, and whether the RST 7.5 is reset or active and everything. Okay, so it's a powerful instruction. So 1 byte instruction only. Set interrupt mask. So one more instruction available, that is reading the pending interrupt. So in the next class we will discuss about that. That is RIM instruction, read interrupt mask. So I hope you understand the today class, and assignment I given already. I will follow strictly whatever assignments I am giving. You have to submit before the deadline. Okay. Later, don't ask me the any reason.